Today I want to talk to you about my content creator goals for 2024. It is January 2024. Happy New Year. Whatever your goals are for 2024, I wish you the very best to you and to your family. I have never been in the habit of setting goals. I guess there's a part of me that doesn't want to be held accountable, but I realize now that I have acted for far too long as an amateur, and I want to think about my content creator journey, not just as a personal journey, but as a business, as something that I approach in a serious-minded way, and that I am able to build into something that I could look back and be proud of. My first goal is to understand my audience, my niche, my genre a little bit better. And I plan to do this through audience surveys, polls, engagements in the comment section, and for just getting a better sense of viewers and what they want. For far too long, I realized that my channel has sent very mixed signals. And I feel there needs to be focus that is geared towards the viewer. Goal number 2 is to read more, to learn more, to commit to continuous learning. 2023 was a very good year for me when it came to reading, compared to past years anyway, in the sense that I have read over 30 books, fiction, items that deal with content creation, and I have learned a lot. And I suspect that by reading these books, it is helping me understand that I need to craft my journey a little bit serious-minded, a little bit more laser-focused, be a professional, make commitments, stick to them. As part of this continuous learning, I want to be able to engage more with my peers, my co-workers, my colleagues, other content creators from Trinidad and Tobago. I could think about different YouTubers. I want to give a special mention to Baptiste. He was a guest on the podcast. You could check out that episode. I'll link it down in the description. And Juma has a fantastic podcast called Useful Content with Baptiste. So I want to be able to engage my peers a little bit more. And as part of that, I want to write more. I want to publish at least 2 blog posts weekly on a Monday and a Thursday at 8 a.m. The reason I want to write more is because I've always known this. As a writer, writing is the foundation of all other content. At least I feel that way. For instance, I could take this podcast that I've written out the points for. I now have a post on potbig.com, and I could springboard into recording this podcast episode. Sorry, I may have gotten slightly mixed up there, but I've written an article that I've published on potbig.com, and now I am able to generate a podcast out of it. So that is a goal, to write more, committing to 2 blog posts weekly, which I will share on a Monday and Thursday at 8 a.m. on my website, potbig.com. And on potbig.com, you could find articles that I've written about my content creator journey, as well as the key takeaways from different interviews that I have had with Caribbean content creators. The next goal is to stick to 2 platforms. And those 2 platforms are YouTube and X, which was formerly called Twitter. YouTube for video and X for genre-specific conversations about Trinidad and Tobago, to engage with other users, to be able to stick to trending stories that are coming out on X, and hopefully it fuels into my content creation process. Now, this is going to be pretty hard for me to do, to stick to these 2 platforms. And I'll tell you why YouTube for video. I'll get to that part in a bit. It has to do with monetization. Somewhere in early 2023, I started taking short videos, shorts, and vertical videos, and sharing them on my Facebook pages and my TikTok pages. And some of these videos have gone on to achieve tens of thousands of views. I don't know if that qualifies as viral content, but the thing is, those channels as a Caribbean content creator, those channels aren't monetized for me. I've never figured out how to monetize Facebook from the Caribbean region. While I have a sense of how to do it for TikTok, I've never looked into it sufficiently. So while posting there is building brand awareness for me, for the content, I realized that it isn't driving viewers across to my YouTube channel. And that's something to think about. I realized that the growth of my YouTube channel may even have slowed a little bit. Yes, it's growing, but maybe it's slowed a little bit because I've now kind of scattered my resources. I am not able to engage with I'm not able to engage with viewers across all 4 platforms. I am a solo creator. So by posting, whether it is on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, while I'm getting reach, I am not able to engage with viewers. I don't have the time for it as much as I would like to. My YouTube growth, which is suffering, and YouTube is where I've monetized. So I'm taking a step back and return to YouTube as the sole place that you would find my video content, with the hope that I'm able to grow that channel. So this is just like an exclusive type of arrangement, and also to free myself from having to have 4 different apps on my phone, opening them, posting, sometimes responding to comments. I'm stretching myself too thin. I want to be doing focused work. So you could find me on YouTube, and you could find me on X. I'm at Lyndon Baptiste. I am keeping Instagram on my phone as a means to reach out to other content creators. That message feature has, given me a lot of access to people who have gone on to come on the show. So I want to keep Instagram. I am available on Instagram, excuse me, at Lyndon Baptiste. On YouTube, one of my goals is to publish at least 1 short video daily. Now, I love shorts. I love vertical videos. I love the challenge, the constraint of time to create a story that is under 1 minute long. Is fantastic. And I edit these videos sometimes on my phone. And if I want to do a voiceover, I would use my audio recorder that I have, so that the quality of it stands out along those lines as well. So shorts are an extreme challenge for me to fit the story in. And my goal is to post at least 1 short video daily, with the idea that even as I record this podcast, I want to be able to perhaps do a long form video afterwards, and then generate some shorts that probably touch on each one of the talking points that I have here. When I do that, I will now have a couple short videos inside. So batch recording becomes a part of my process that I hope to make my life a little bit easier, and you could consider it because it works. It has worked well for me. My next goal is to release 1 long form video weekly. This has to do with the monetization aspect on YouTube. What I've noticed is that shorts, while it could increase my subscriber count and reach more people, it doesn't generate a lot of revenue. At least not for me. I do a little bit better on the long form content. The good news is that I have a head start. I have a head start because I have a lot of videos that I am sitting on. They are already edited. That is the beauty of when you batch record and batch edit. I think I am in a position where I may be able, without doing any work, just exporting the videos, I may be able to post 1 video per week for the next 3 months. It gives me a head start to just kind of focus on the content creation journey as it comes up. If you're a content creator looking for a head start in some way, consider batch recording, making a commitment to something like once per week. In a couple of weeks' time, if you are batch recording and batch editing your videos, what you would find is you would be in a position to easily up your game and show up 2 times per week. So what I'm hoping is that as I have these videos in the background and I have new videos that are coming in and that I'm creating, that I would be able to up the game to twice per week. And then I'll be able to up the game to 3 times per week. That is my plan. We'll see how it goes. I want to publish 1 podcast episode per week every Tuesday at 8 a.m. And what I'm doing here on this Saturday morning is I'm recording a video that would go up on Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. Remember that previous goal that I had to do 2 blog posts per week, Monday and Thursday at 8 a.m.? My plan is on a Friday morning, if my schedule is free or either I wake very early, on a Friday morning, I hope to wake early before the day has started for the rest of the family and record podcast episodes that are based around those blog posts. So I'll be batch recording my podcast episodes as well. And if every Friday I'm able to record at least 2 to 3 podcast episodes, I should be able to similarly meet the goal of being able to post 1 podcast episode on a Tuesday at 8 a.m. I will then be able to up the game similarly and show up at least twice per week. Oh, if you aren't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you take a moment to tap that follow button. If it is that you're enjoying the content and you would like to stay up to date. If it is you want to stay up to date with my blog, you could do so at potbake.com, and I will include links to my YouTube channel and my X and also my Instagram if you want to message me. If you are a content creator listening to this and you'd like to chat, feel free to head on over to any one of those platforms I mentioned and send me a message, and we could schedule a conversation. My next goal is to connect with 2 Caribbean content creators monthly for interviews. I'll repeat that. Every month, I would like to connect with 2 Caribbean content creators and chat with them about their backstory, the tools that they use, analytics, whatever I could learn from them, so that we will be able to pass this knowledge on to you, whether you are a content creator or you are an entrepreneur who's interested in using content to grow your business. When I record the conversation with them, I'm also hoping that I would be able to generate a video version of it. Those interviews will become one of the videos that I could share per week on my YouTube channel. A quick note on connecting with Caribbean content creators, at least here in Trinidad. It has been a little bit challenging in terms of time, primarily on my end. I realized that by making a commitment and having certain days that are focused to say, hey, on this particular day, whether it's a weekend or during the week, when the morning periods are free and the kids are away, that I would be able to set that day, make a commitment to it, and meet with the Caribbean content creator and record the episode. Because in Trinidad here, and the wider Caribbean, we have a lot of great content creators that have been grinding at their craft for a number of years, and it's always a pleasure to speak with them, hear their story, and learn from them. My next goal is to raise funds to send Farmer Harry to Antigua. This goal requires a little bit of a backstory. I'll go through it quickly. In 2021, is it 2021? Yeah. I connected with a farmer who lives off-grid in Trinidad. His name is Mr. Vat. I was surprised to discover that there are farmers living off-grid in Trinidad. People living off-grid in Trinidad. We worked together, made a fantastic contribution. Along the way, Mr. Bat introduced me to his neighbor, Farmer Harry. Farmer Harry is 61 years old. He lives off-grid as well. I was surprised to find out that Farmer Harry didn't have a birth paper. I was surprised to find out that Farmer Harry didn't have an ID card. It made sense a little bit later on while I was on a family vacation in Tobago that Farmer Harry has never been out of Trinidad and Tobago. He's never traveled. And thinking about the years of contribution that he has made to the land, to society, I asked Farmer Harry, if you could visit any country in the world, which country would you visit? He said Antigua. I said, why Antigua? He says because Antigua has a beach for every day of the year, 365 beaches. And I got this idea to have a mission to send Farmer Harry to Antigua. I was able to raise funds through sponsored videos. People, subscribers, have donated towards Farmer Harry. And in December 2023, Farmer Harry got not just his bird paper, he got his identification card. I promised Farmer Harry that I would work on getting his passport. So we are excited about crossing that hurdle. It has taken a significantly long time for him to get his bird paper and his identification card. But we are pleased that he has it. So now it's to get his passport, excuse me, and send Farmer Harry to Antigua. I'll put a link in the description if you would like to find out more about the mission to send Farmer Harry to Antigua. My next goal is a little bit crazy, but the idea appeals to me. It is to find employment as an in-house creator. I'll repeat that, I stumbled a bit. To find employment as an in-house creator. Now, I know I could be doing sponsored videos and I'm open to it as a content creator. There's a certain part of me that would love to connect with a good company that is willing to use storytelling and humor and video content to build brand awareness, to generate more leads for their business. It sounds, as I said, it sounds like a little bit of a kind of, what they call it, castles in the sky type of idea. But how fantastic it would be to connect with a company in Trinidad and Tobago that probably has little to no brand awareness, but they know that this is the wave of the future. That we could spend our money on advertising dollars, traditional media. But what if we were able to connect with someone that could come in as an in-house creator, and that person could use storytelling and propel us to a high rank when people think about this company, or when people think about a particular field? This is the company that comes to mind because of the work that an in-house creator has done. I would love that challenge. I don't know if one would present itself, but I'm setting it as a goal for 2023. And finally, the 11th goal that I have on the list is to offer content creator consultation sessions. That is what I would love to do. I would love to similarly offer a service where small businesses or businesses of any size could reach out. They could book a consultation session, whether it is virtually or in person. And I could go in, I could chat with them about their social media presence. I could chat with them about how they could use video, how they could re-engineer some of their processes as a computer program. I could speak with them about the potential that a website has for them. I have along the way helped a number of Caribbean content creators, writers, videographers, vloggers, setting up different aspects of the work that they do, including monetization. I realize, though, that while I love doing it, I can't commit as much time given the other goals that I have. So what I've done is I've set up my website that you could visit. You could go and see the consultation. You could book a session. This podcast is also available as a blog post on podbake.com. I will leave a link. So if you are a content creator listening to this, once again, Happy New Year. I wish you the very best. And I hope that these goals that I have outlined are helpful to you. Should I quickly recap them? Maybe I should. Let me quickly recap them. The first goal is to understand my audience and genre a little bit better through surveys and feedback. The next goal is to commit to continuous learning, to read more, to listen to more useful podcasts, to engage with my peers. The next goal is to write more, to publish 2 blog posts weekly on Monday and a Thursday at 8 a.m. The next goal is to stick to 2 platforms. For video, I'm going to use YouTube. I'm going to use X, formerly Twitter, to stay up to date with conversations about Trinidad and Tobago. I mentioned the use of Instagram for reaching out through private messages to other content creators. For YouTube, my next goal is to publish at least 1 short video daily. Next goal is to release 1 long-form video weekly. then publish one podcast episode per week every Thursday at 8 a.m. I want to connect with 2 Caribbean content creators monthly for podcast interviews, whether it is virtually or in person. As I mentioned, if you are a Caribbean content creator interested in chatting, please visit my website, potbake.com, where you could find a link. We could book a session and we could chat and schedule a podcast. The next goal is to raise funds to send Farmer Harry to Antigua. My 10th goal is to find employment as an in-house content creator. And my final goal is to offer content creator consultation sessions, whether it's to other content creators or businesses interested in using social media, storytelling, humor to build their presence and to generate more leads. I appreciate you sticking around. And I'll see you in the next episode on Tuesday at 8 a.m.